My mission is to help make our food system healthier, more sustainable and ethical. In a market where consumers are making more informed decisions about the food they buy, I believe that food businesses catering to these needs will be the most successful. I'm Michael Fox, CEO and co-founder of Shiitake mushroom company Fable Food. For years, I've been obsessed with our food system. Welcome to my podcast where I talk shiitake with successful chefs, food industry executives and entrepreneurs to learn about what's led to their success in the food industry. In today's episode of Talking Shiitake, I speak with Matt Shook, founder and CEO of JuiceLand in Texas. JuiceLand is a 42-door smoothie, coffee and healthy food chain based in Austin, Dallas and Houston. Matt's a veteran of the juice and health food space, and he's created an incredible Bánh Mì Wrap with our pulled shiitake mushrooms, and I got to try it during the interview. It really is a delicious dish at an amazing price point of $5.95. Together with JJ on our Fable team, we had the pleasure of sitting down with Matt in his home in Austin, Texas, to talk through the growth of JuiceLand and the highs and lows of the juice bar, health food, and restaurant space. It's my pleasure to bring you Matt Shook. Cool. Well, Matt Shook, welcome to Talking Shiitake. Thanks for having me at your wonderful place in Austin.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So you've been in the juice game for a little over 20 years. I think you did
23.
You did Juice Box, Daily Juice, I think it was called, and then now JuiceLand. Yeah, take us through your kind of journey into juice.
Well, the fourth one there was Juice Joint. That's where I started working. Juice Joint was on Barton Springs Road by Barton Springs Pool, which is our, I think it's a national treasure, but it's definitely the coolest place in Texas. And that's why I'm in Austin, is because of Barton Springs Pool. And there was a juice bar on the street, Barton Springs Road, and I started working there in 2001.
Yep.
And I worked there for several years before the opportunity came to take over and have my own place. And so I started Daily Juice. And then I did that for 5 or 6 years and had Juice Box for a couple of years. And then JuiceLand was born in 2011.
Take me through like juice and I guess more broadly the health food space must have changed a lot in that time.
It really did. I remember, making smoothies with fresh juice was something nobody else was doing in town. So we were really proud of that. And then the juice cleanse thing kind of took off in 2012 or 13. So we just saw a huge influx of people that knew that fresh juice would sustain you.
Yeah.
So people were having it as a meal or as like their daily supplement was like a bottle of fresh juice. And, that kind of went up. And then we had the bowl phenomenon, which has been like booming. So it's like blended fruit. So like we've always been with the juice, the fruit, the bowls. So we've seen like the waves up and down. And we just feel like a meal substitute of a smoothie is like one of the best ways to get through the day. So that's just been our like bread and butter is smoothies.
JuiceLand is plant-based, but you don't necessarily sort of trumpet that. It's not like core front and center of the brand. To me, it feels like the brand is sort of about fun, kind of health, sort of smoothies and juices, and it just so happens to be plant-based. Can you sort of walk us through how you think about that?
Well, if anybody out there, I don't want anyone to be confused. We do offer 2 kinds of whey protein.
Yes, I saw that.
Plant-based and standard.
Yes, you've got, and it's like a precision fermented plant-based.
That's right.
So it is actually whey protein.
Yeah, it's a fermented whey protein.
Is that the perfect day?
It's perfect day. Yeah. And so we introduced that, I think last year probably. It might be 2 years ago now. And people loved it. But also, the regular whey protein is something people ask for. And we talked about it internally. We're like, let's offer it. And we were a little bit afraid because you don't want to offer something that's going to upset anyone, when you've got something going, but no one seemed to mind. And we thought that was kind of like, okay, we'll give options, and try to bring people in and then show them that there is an option.
That makes good sense. I mean, and that aligns actually with, some of our thinking too. We were just chatting before, we just recently launched a mushroom ingredient designed to be blended with beef.
Right.
So, most of our products are vegan. The ingredient that we produce is vegan, but actually, there's some people who don't necessarily want to go all the way to be fully plant-based. So yeah, giving people the option to reduce is kind of a good way to do it.
How about less red meat? And they say, okay, great. And they can have 2 burgers instead of 1.
Exactly.
Bring them along.
And kind of similar thing. You've got the option for the plant-based whey protein and the actual...
Which the plant-based has more protein.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's another thing where you get people talking and you go, well, they're
fascinating.
Like, well, which one do you like? We're like, well, this one has more protein. They're like, okay, well, I'll take that. So...
What's people's decision factor on ordering one over the other, or like the people who order the animal-based one, why are they ordering that?
Here's the thing is, there's no rhyme or reason. We haven't done a focus group, and I don't know why people pick one thing over the other. Yeah. I don't know if somebody's like thinking about the climate change for one decision, or someone's thinking about like what their friends get. Who knows? But we just give them the option.
Yeah,
so,
So it's there.
It's hard to get in their
It'd be
head.
fascinating to understand why, because it's like taste-wise, it's the same.
Yep.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Similar enough.
Similar enough,
Mhm.
and yeah, more protein in the Perfect Day one.
Yep.
But yeah, still some people choose the animal one. Now, Jessica Gleason introduced us. Jessica used to be quite senior at Starbucks in the US, and she's done a number of interesting roles. How do you know Jessica?
Jessica was introduced to us by a friend, Joe Canterbury, here in Austin, that was also senior at Starbucks for years. And she does so many cool things with consulting, with retail. So we're kind of like, we were asking her questions about, store layouts, things like that, functionality when we started to really grow. So she helped us with that. And then she's introduced us to several brands that have been interesting to us, Sesame Milk, Fable meats. So yeah, she's really connected and we really appreciate her.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Sesame milk.
Yeah, sesame milk instead of oat milk.
Yeah.
Less resources.
Yeah.
You don't see it yet in the boba tea shops, but I'm sure it's coming because it's like, lower cost, lower impact, and it's got a nice flavor, some nice oils and some, milky.
Sesame seeds are great. I mean, I love tahini, so
yeah,
it's like a tahini milk.
That's what it is, tahini milk.
Yeah.
And we're seeing like, everything will be in milk. Like banana milk's now big, and I'm like, all right, banana milk, we can do that.
Yeah.
We got bananas.
I tried pistachio milk for the first time the other day. It was amazing.
Amazing. We love the brand New Milk, NU. Those guys, they do like basically packets, of nut butters and oat butters and pistachio, and then you put it in a machine and it makes the perfect nut milk at your kitchen or in your retail space.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah.
So many cool milks out there.
There are. Yeah, so it's just like bananas, almond milk, cacao, coffee, probably some cinnamon.
That's delicious.
Yep.
And it's got some caffeine in it as well.
Yeah, it's got cold brew coffee.
Cold brew coffee in it as well.
Cold brew coffee, yeah. We use Little City coffee. So it's a coffee smoothie. There's no ice in it. It's only just bananas, homemade almond milk, and cacao and protein. So yeah,
it's delicious.
It's like a protein smoothie with coffee that really will set you right for the day.
Wow.
Yeah. You won't even think about eating until like this afternoon. You'll be so set.
And JJ, when you ordered it, you added hemp protein as well. So yeah. It's like fully loaded.
Yep. The percolator.
I like it. That's delicious.
Yep.
I think after Jessica introduced us, I think we shipped you samples of our pulled shiitake product. Talk me through the first time you tried it.
Well, the first time I tried it, obviously, I thought the texture was what was most interesting because, I've had all kinds of different, meat substitutes, and they've always just been a little bit too, not enough like chew, or if they are, they're too chewy and too dry.
Yeah.
So I just loved this product, and immediately, I think the first thing we did was the banh mi. So I did like a lemongrass, garlic, maybe even used a real fish sauce just to try to get like that super umami, flavor for a Vietnamese food because we really wanted to do like a banh mi sandwich, and I think the timing was just kind of perfect for that.
Yeah.
And so I did it in my oven at home with green onions and all those flavors, and I gave it to I think my wife, and she was just like, "Wow!" We both really loved the product, and then we got the banh mi on the shelf pretty quickly after that.
Yeah. You guys did move.
Yeah, we moved pretty quick.
Yeah. And do you produce in you have like a central kitchen? You produce everything
central kitchen, and Renee, Wesley, these guys are in the kitchen. Kind of, I gave them the samples, and they started messing with it, and they also had great results without even me like talking about. I was like, "What? See what you can do with it."
Yep.
So we kind of married a couple of our ideas together, and now we've got all kinds of things in the pipeline. So,
cool.
Yeah, like just last week we did the gyro.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Yep, we did the gyro, and so we're going to launch that one next.
Great.
Gyro or shawarma, we're not sure what, but the tzatziki sauce we make is like a cashew-based tzatziki with a lot of herbs, and so like that with the meat is perfect. And it's cool because I know a guy moved down from New York. He's a restaurateur, and he wants to open a sandwich shop in Austin. And we've been talking about maybe doing something together, and I was like, well, I've got this gyro product, this vegan gyro, and he tried it and was like, wow. So he was really blown away also for that idea. So I can see it. We might launch a gyro at the same time somebody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah. Because I feel like a rising tide raises all ships. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a chain in Australia, Zoo Street Greek. It's like a 35-door, really successful kind of Greek chain. It's almost like, in some ways, kind of like just a Greek flavored version of Mexican, like the options that they have on their menu. It's like you walk into a Mexican restaurant, but you've got the gyros, so almost like a taco, and then or a smaller burrito. You've got kind of nachos and things on fries, but
so
all
how are
with
they
the
doing the
Greek
Euro meat?
flavors.
Are they cooking it to order, or they have it sitting in a hot pan?
They pre-cook it and have it sitting in a hot hold.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
hot
and
hold.
then put it
Cool.
straight on. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that works well. And they produce it all in. They've got 35 restaurants. Yeah, they cook it, open up the packs, and cook it in the restaurants for their.
Well,
their process.
JuiceLand, that's the one thing we're missing. I feel like we have a great offering, but we don't have a lot of hot foods. So when the seasons change, people think about it like, oh. So we do have a cold case with grab and go items. So we introduced oatmeal today. Actually,
oh wow,
today's fall in Austin.
There we go.
It's going to be 96.
Got the launch exclusive.
Yeah, today's the launch of our oatmeals, which are like superfood oatmeals made to order. But we're always thinking like, well, can we add a hot thing? So I'm thinking like if we have the right pita in the right hot pan, we could probably do our own gyro or tacos.
So we've actually got a few restaurants that don't have a lot of cooking equipment in their restaurant, so they cook off site in a central kitchen and then just like sous vide or like hot water bath the product. So they pack it in the central kitchen in little bags that they can then just heat in the restaurant.
That's what we're looking into.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Nice simple process.
Yep.
Yeah. And the product, so the cell walls of mushrooms are made from a compound called chitin, which if you like plant cell walls are made from cellulose, and cellulose breaks down with heat, which is why when you like cook potatoes, you get mashed potatoes very quickly. Mushrooms, the cell wall is made from chitin, and it holds together through heat freezing. You can put it through that sort of heat changes and freezing changes over and over, and the chitin doesn't break down. So you keep the sort of really good firm texture. You won't get like mashed potato equivalent of mushrooms. So yeah, works well for that.
Great.
Yeah. JJ, do you want to jump in for a second? I was going to ask you, because you worked through with the team, was it Wesley and
Renee?
Jeff? Oh, Renee.
Yep.
Jump in next to me. So yeah, what was the process like working with Renee and Wesley on getting the product? Oh, and actually, even before we get into that, you've lived in Austin for nearly 10 years now, right? Yeah. I know you're a healthy eater, and I know you eat at JuiceLand regularly, and you've got the percolator with the hemp seed added. Yeah, walk me through your experiences as a customer at JuiceLand.
Yeah, so well, first of all, I travel a lot. There's a lot that Fable demands. People are asking for it all over the country now. But so the JuiceLand at the airport, a percolator, just like you said, starts me off right. But one of the things I love about JuiceLand and about Austin is JuiceLand is Austin. Austin's got this unique culture where instead of bringing in national chains, it creates them. There's a lot of other, Hop Dottie and Torchy's and Alamo Draft House and JuiceLand. I mean, they're all in the same vein. And so there's something to supporting a local brand. It's also my get out of jail free with my wife. If I've upset her, I can walk up the street to the MLK and Chacon location and pick up a Bam Bam, come home, and it's almost a peace offering. So you guys, the JuiceLand continues to elevate and produce high quality, food on the raw side. Excited to try this shawarma, and the smoothies always hit the spot.
Love to hear it.
Yeah. And working with Renee and Wesley on developing the products, what was that process?
Yeah. Well, it starts at the top, and Matt's enthusiasm for the product. I think I called me on a Friday and said, I need more samples of shrooms. Can you get me some? And I was like, all right, cool. And he said, just drop them off at the nearest location. I was like, all right, awesome. So, that energy is infectious from the top down. And Renee's my man. It's such a great guy. He went home. He watched the Zac Efron show. He told me he did all kinds of research about the product. And, we got in the kitchen. I showed him a little bit about how we like to get a little crisp on the product. And then the pores open up and you can add whatever flavor you want. And you guys did multiple batches of R&D trying to perfect it and get it just right. And I was around to be as involved as possible, but the team held it down and really just kept me updated along the way. And it's fantastic. It's a great application.
Awesome. And I think we've picked some up this morning. Shall we?
Yeah.
Little banh mi for breakfast.
Yeah, it's a lot like it's like a savory. kind of a savory. Austin's known for breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
So this isn't really a wrap as much as it is like it's like a taco, really.
Yeah.
But people think of wrap, they think of tortilla. So we just kind of thought it'd be easy to.
Yeah.
Like
that's
that.
the
The banh mi.
banh mi.
And so the aioli is a aquafaba, the garbanzo bean.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's
Chickpea.
that with some shallots and some sambal. So it's got a nice spice.
Amazing.
Jalapenos for people that like the real heat. And then basically like a lot of herbs, like an herb salad mixed with your.
That is so good. It looks amazing. This is actually my first time trying it.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, the guys in Aussie, we missed the launch by 1 day, so they were flying out of Dallas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the most like well balanced thing in our deli case, in my opinion. When it
That's
comes
amazing.
When it comes to like veggies and meat, if you will, it's the perfect balance, in my opinion. Like there's not one more than the other, and every bite is just like dialed in.
That's so good. The herbs are so fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So you make these fresh every day in your central kitchen,
That's
then they
right.
get shipped out to the
That's
stores.
right. Yep. And several JuiceLand. So JuiceLand's been doing food for 14 years now, and we've had several customers say it's the best thing we've produced ever. Yeah, and those are the people that have been on the ride. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
really
then
good.
my number one customer feedback loop is my wife, and it's the thing she goes for.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep. We got home last night from a trip and leaving the airport. She's like, let's go get a banh mi at JuiceLand.
And you guys have cooked that well. There's a little bit of browning and crispness on the outside. Yeah. And it's like actually, holds together really well cold, and then combined with that. Yeah, what do you got? Cilantro,
Yep.
carrots,
Basil and mint.
yeah, mint. Yeah. It tastes like really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And then the sambal, in the aioli is got just enough kick, right? Just enough kick, but not too hot.
Not too hot. Perfect for breakfast.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Our
And so-
next one's going to be a gyro.
Yeah, amazing. So how many locations are you at now?
We have 42 locations in Texas, 6 in Houston, 6 in Dallas, and the rest in Austin.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and are they any of them franchised?
Nope, they're all company owned, and we like that. We like to have like kind of the control of the whole. We've got our commissary, so we control our our food chain and our cold chain and all that. And then when it comes to management, it's all us. So there's no like externals, which feels good too as we're growing to just be basically in charge of our own like destiny when it comes to culture and vibe and promoting from within. And people come from entry level to assistant manager to regional manager. And the thing I'm most proud about at JuiceLand is our executive team, which is our chief operation officer was 19 years old when we met. So she started working at JuiceLand.
Wow.
14 years ago.
It's like just a casual
runs the company, And
amazing.
so, our director of purchasing has been with the team for 20 years.
Wow.
Marketing director, 13 years. Director of IT systems, again, 13 years. So just like our whole executive team, most of our executive team has been making juices or smoothies in the shops and knows the business from when we had 2 locations to now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an awesome culture you guys must have to maintain that. Yeah.
I'm really proud.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of the team.
How have you guys gone through? Because obviously, post-COVID, been in both Australia and the United States and actually the UK, I think all the markets we operate in, a lot of restaurants have been having sort of labor shortages and challenges. How's that journey been for you over the last few years?
We just, we find that people love working in a spot where like there's no like fryers and there's no like you're not cooking food. You're just like in a fresh environment making smoothies, plant-based meals. So it's like a refreshing environment. The music's great. And, we do put a lot of emphasis on like feedback and collaboration with our crew. So people have a voice. So we've actually had lower turnover than the industry standard.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, good on you. So the inflationary environment here in the US and food costs, how's that sort of played out for you guys?
Yeah, really, I think you've seen more of that when it comes to the meat, the big agriculture meat when it comes to like they were closing processing plants because people were catching COVID and people were then next thing you know, eggs and chicken and beef were. But when it comes to like produce that's picked outdoors, we haven't seen a lot of fluctuations. So, bananas, pineapples, things like that. So prices have stayed pretty stable. So we haven't had to raise our prices. So everybody else has been clicking up and up and up. And we've stayed real steady to pre-COVID prices.
That's awesome. And has that helped? Have you seen that help your sales?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because what's happening is people are just a little bit more price sensitive and they're looking for value. And so, so you've seen some of these brands where like the value's not there or lose customers. But for us, we feel like, our most popular smoothie is called the Honeyberry and it's $6.
Wow.
And so, it's a smoothie you get for $6.
That's like half of what you pay for a smoothie in New York, probably less.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people are like, whoa, you guys are really. Yeah. Now, of course, we do have smoothies that cost $14 that are kind of our upper echelon, top tier. So some people see that and they're like, whoa, this place is way too expensive for me. But if you've actually like looked at different smoothie concepts, you realize we're actually pretty reasonable.
And the Bánh Mì Wrap is, I think, $5.95. Is that right?
$5.95.
Yeah, that's like super sharp price point. Yeah.
We wanted to introduce something that was like basically like you could get a smoothie and, tack something on versus one or the other. Yeah. So some of our items have been $9.50, $10. And I was like, let's try to get one that we can like really go $6 or less. And
that's amazing.
We're really proud of that price point. Yeah. And out of the we have 12 or 13 food items for sale and Fable's been number 2. Wow. The Bánh Mi's been number 2 because we have the Frijoles roller, which will always be number 1 because it's like the thing we're known for. Yeah, okay, which is like a sour cream, a cashew sour cream burrito that we make with beans. Oh, wow. So that's always like going to be like the Honeyberry of the smoothie world. Yeah. So to be number two, it means it jumped ahead of all the staples that have been there for like a decade. Wow. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's really popular.
That's amazing. What do you think drove that?
I do think the price point, introducing something where people could just try it without like having to like really have the bill be huge. And then of course, the first time you try it, you're like, wow, that's super fresh and refreshing and does the trick.
So good repeat purchase rates as well.
Yep. And of course the staff, we call the crew at JuiceLand, if they love it, people are going to know about it. So they loved it. The feedback was overwhelming.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. Great to hear. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing such an amazing job with our product. Like that is super delicious. I kind of want to stop talking so that I can just finish this off.
It's true. It's really good. Yeah.
So 42 doors and just in Texas. Yep. What's your long-term vision?
Long-term vision is really to make sure that anybody that comes to Texas knows that there's a JuiceLand that they can go to. So that's like my long-term vision. Yep. I don't think longer than like just, I'm not one of those people that plan out. I go with the flow and the flow is just taking me to Houston, Dallas, I'm sure San Antonio soon. And so long-term vision, I'm more of like, let's just win one game at a time.
That's great. That's smart. Yeah. So Texas and
Texas,
go with the flow. See where you end up.
We get emails, want to see us in, Denver, Florida, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Nashville. So we're always kind of looking and considering where we would go if we were outside of Texas.
If you can consider putting one in Park Slope, Brooklyn, I'd appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, we had one in Park Slope.
You kidding?
Yeah, 9th Street.
Really?
From 2014 to 2018, we had a JuiceLand in Park Slope.
Oh, wow.
Next door to the Dram Shop.
Huh.
Yeah. And so I was up there 4 times a year checking on it. It did really well. When we lost the lease, we decided to like just basically focus on Texas. And I will say the weather ups and downs in New York has a big effect on smoothies. And so I think some of the other brands up there probably deal with that too.
Interesting. So summer is good for smoothies. Winter, not so good.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know about the other brands, but we had a dip.
Need like a hot smoothie.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hot soup. And right. Plus, we found that like our location, you really got to be strategic with the subway stops.
Yeah,
we were in between 2.
9th Street. So, you're kind of in the middle. We
were in the middle. Yeah. But we had a good run, and people loved us up there.
Yeah, amazing. Oh wow, I wish I'd in Park Slope then. That's crazy. And that's been your only one outside of.
That's been the only one outside of Texas.
Wow.
And then when the lease came up and they decided to expand the grocery store that was there, we didn't find another spot. Yeah.
Well, amazing, Matt. This has been great. Great catching up with you, and thank you for doing such an amazing job with our products. Thank you for producing delicious smoothies. I can feel the caffeine kicking in now as well. So
my pleasure.
I'm kind of set for the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome meeting you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.